My name is Suzanne Hoffman, and I am the Superintendent of Schools here in Vancouver. And today is Friday, May the 1st, and I'm pleased to be able to bring you another Superintendent's update for the past week. Last week in my video message to you, I mentioned that we were starting to turn our heads to the eventual reopening of schools. And today I'd like to provide you with a little bit more information on our thinking in this regard. We have had lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, lots of suggestions, and we have been methodically and thoughtfully working through all of the ideas that we've had to see how we might turn our heads and begin to move towards planning for the eventual reopening. This past week, Minister Rob Fleming, at his press conference, spoke about really focusing on the how. How will schools reopen? What might that look like? And although we have no date and time yet, that's a really important part of this process. Dr. Bonnie Henry, in her press conferences, also spoke about some high-level possibilities and suggestions. Might there be a hybrid model, some face-to-face, some online learning? What ages would potentially come into school first? The concepts of staggering start times, our breaks, all of the ideas at a very high level, she has also started to float out and put towards those of us that are operationalizing the work within school districts. Whatever it is that we do, I want to reassure all of our community that health and safety will be our first lens. We want to take care of the well-being of our students, of our staff, of our families, and our communities. So whatever we do, that will be the number one driver of our work. We want to acknowledge that when we do eventually reopen our schools to our students, it will be very different. And what I can let the community know is that we have been looking at, we have been listening to, we have been learning from, and we have been working with others internationally that have already gone ahead of us with this work, nationally what is being contemplated, and certainly throughout the province and within metro school districts. So this is not something we are undertaking alone, but we are very much collaborating and engaging with others. So we started to think about planning and what might that look like. And the list is quite extensive, and what you have on the screen are just a few samples of the kinds of things we're working through. Obviously, health and safety, as I've mentioned. But communication, what did we learn from the last phase of being in a pandemic that we could use towards improving and communicating with you as we go forward? We think about connections for our students as they start to re-enter school, and what will that look like? And what are some things that we need to be mindful and thoughtful about? What will our learning spaces look like? How do we ensure physical distancing for students and for staff in our reopened schools? What supplies do we need? And we've been ordering many things to ensure the safety piece of our work is fully accounted for. Schedules, and again, that continuation of learning, and what might that look like? I would like to acknowledge, obviously, that there is a great deal of uncertainty and there's ambiguity about the work that we are doing. And for some, it is frustrating that there is a lack of details and specificity. We will follow the lead of our provincial health officer around the eventual reopening, but please know that we understand those feelings that you may have as community members of us and our system. But what I can assure you we will do is we will adapt. We adapted through the last several weeks to make some great changes, and with the next phase of our work, we will also adapt. What we will look at doing, and there's two words that come to mind. One is reassurance and one is emergence. And I would like to reassure you that the work we have already done has very much impacted and will inform our work going forward. And what we're very proud of is some of the emergent work that has taken place. New things have come about. Teachers have been extraordinary in the new learning opportunities and the work that students have been doing in a very different way. We have adapted. We will continue to adapt going forward. And we will be eventually returning to school, and we will have safety and health and well-being measures in place to support our students. But it really is our genuine hope that curiosity and learning will be back the norm for students within our schools, and that joy that we hope to see on the faces of the young people that we serve. We want them to know that we care, we miss them, and we very genuinely look forward to the return of students to our schools. Please stay tuned for what that might look like, and I look forward to bringing you more details in the days and the weeks ahead. Thank you for listening.